Cause this yeah.
Listen, you want to take a couple sips right now. Good morning, everybody.
What's up, people? What's up?
We have decided to shift things a little bit. So, as you guys are rocking with us, Peaky Blinders season one, we did it. We completed it. And we said we never wanted to get stale. So, we want to keep rocking with different shows. And boy, oh boy, did more shows come out. So, there's a show from the past that on HBO Max that's now on Netflix. And there's also a show that was dropped on Hulu. So we said One Piece, you gotta take a break also. We gotta bring both these shows to the actual out front. So what show we
Okay.
doing first, bro?
So this is the one that you brought up. He was like, "Yeah, One Piece. Let's take a little break since it's so long."
Real hated it, by the way, guys.
I did. I'm still not with it yet. I'm gonna still give y'all a chance, but I'm still not with it yet. Like
Uh-huh.
I feel like the One Piece fans is just going to continue to hate me until it finally starts to click, which probably is going to be like episode 68. But I mean, we'll see. Um, but he was like, "Yo, let's do the show Shogun on Hulu."
Yes.
He was like, "It's a samurai based show. Like, we just gotta watch it." I was like, "All right, cool, bet, whatever, let's do it." And let me tell you, bro, like when I first started watching it,
Yes.
I was like, "Yo, am I gonna have to read this whole episode?" Like, I wasn't ready for that. I
Okay.
was sitting there like, all right, like it was to the point where I was like, hold on, let me check to make sure it's in English
Yes.
or if it has an English option. I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to read this whole thing.
hmm
I mean, I'm cool with it, but I just had to get prepared for that.
Facts. Got you.
But in the same sense, it's kind of dope because you like it's a super distinction between Japanese and English.
Yes, and it's showing how the two worlds know very little of each other. So the native language that both of them present to each other, a natural dialogue is not natural. It's
Right.
confusing. It's the monologue of trying to figure out like, yo, you meant this and meant that. Some wild things happen with the miscommunication.
Yeah.
So
Like it makes the show more authentic.
yes, facts.
Because
So
if they just got off the boat and started speaking English and the Japanese just started speaking back, I'd have been like, yo, like, nah, like, come on
so
now.
we start off with John Blackthorne. He is the main character, the Englishman. They're on the boat. The rest of the crew is pretty much dying out. The older man's like, we've been at sea for so long. We haven't found land. I'm done with this. And the guy Blackthorne's like, no, you can't do this. She's like, no, give me I'm done. I'm done. So we see him leave and then we hear the sound in the background. He pretty much I'm done.
He off himself.
Yeah, pretty much. So we see the storm. I'm like, yeah, I got tired of another pirate show. Yes. Just messing around. So we see, and actually we see them come to shore, and we see how the first them being come down, and you see the samurais coming down. The Japanese is what they call it, and then that's the first time you see the different cultures colliding because no one's be able to fully communicate with each other. So they
Bro,
get off the
hold
boat.
up, hold up, hold up. The fact that they called them the Japanese
Japan, because
and it's Japanese,
because they didn't know at
right?
all. So it just
Right. I'm just it's just hilarious because if that's what they first called them and it ended up just being Japanese, like they was just like, yo, that kind of sounds good. Like let's
wait,
just make it like a little more at the end of it. So instead of Japanese, it's Japanese.
yes, yes. And then on top of that, like they made it seem like Portugal was the only place to advertise land this. So Black don't understand. He heard about the Japanese, and they're down there like in a jail, basically. Like one of the jails where they're down the bottom, a ladder's there, and the gates up top. And just everyone, I guess, only knows about Portuguese. So everyone's like, no one's really saying Englishmen. They're all saying they're Portuguese or Japanese. Like, and then you see that's what's happening, and then it transfers over to more subtitles, but you see the culture, you see the vibe, and in a nutshell, it almost thought it was gonna be a battle from day one, bro. I thought like a
I thought it
massive.
was too.
I did. I
Like
really, really did.
yeah, yeah. Like I thought somebody was about to get their head sliced off.
The music, everything, like all of it sound, even like the robe and the attire they were dressed up in, riding the horse slow. They go into this massive freaking castle, and then you see them stop, and then you see the people up top looking, and then you see all the archers, and then you see them down there. I'm like, all right, this is some. Are you surrendering? Like, what's going to happen?
Right.
Eh, So, how'd you feel when they all went into the room and you find out they all from the same like council? In a sense, like
So
it.
yeah, yeah. So it was like basically this one king dies,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of like gave them all different parts to kind of keep them together, but it didn't. It never works out like that.
Never.
Somebody wants power. Somebody is like, eh. Some of them is like, I'll stay in the group. Some of them just really don't care as
At
long as
all.
they got their piece.
Yes.
So obviously, it's a struggle between two of these people,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know what the one guy was even there. Oh no, the guy was there because I guess they thought some female went over and was a captive of the
So
other one.
the funny thing about that is the reason why the original leader, when he passed away and the land was split, because he has a son, and his son is too young to take over. So in the meantime, that he's too young to be the heir, that that's the mother. The mother of the heir is a person that was invited into the main character's actual land. So everyone else took it as in she was a captive and you're trying to control everything. But he already knew this meeting was coming because he on the side was bridging pacts and gaining power with marriages with other small towns, which the other four didn't like because it came off like you're trying to gain more power than what you got, like you're trying
Right,
to take it over, which probably still is his natural intentions. But he did it by marriages. So when he invited the heir mother inside, it was almost like a safety blanket where if I come in here for this meeting with you guys and you guys kill me, she's dying too. So that's why they couldn't react or do anything to him right away until she's released.
so yeah, it was like, bro, like I almost thought they was like bringing him in to basically try him so they can execute him. That's what it felt like.
And
Because he
that's
was
why,
already like, yo, like, I'm a prisoner here.
yeah. And
And
like even
the
his
fact,
vibe when he was talking, he's like, I'm not a prisoner here as much as she's not a prisoner there.
right.
Like telling you I know I'm a prisoner, so what do you think's happened over there? So don't play with me.
And it's almost like none of them liked going to this place.
Nah.
So you can almost tell it's almost like, yo, like I think he's doing the marriage stuff, but I don't think he trying to get power of it.
Okay.
It's just like, yo, I'm doing my piece. I like my area. Let me be.
And even like as they basically sign a treaty saying that hey, we don't like what you're doing and we're taking it away from you. And then basically call him a traitor. And then one of his loyal combatants speaks up, out of
Yo,
line, out of turn,
bro,
was like,
he was
"How
ready.
dare you?"
He was ready.
He's like, "How dare you say call my master a traitor?" Like he showed his sword and everything,
Bro, you
which
never show your sword unless you ready to throw down. He
and
was
that
ready, bro.
he was because they all respect their leader, and that's what it was, and they all knew it was some BS that was happening. But him
I
being the
thought it
great,
was gonna go down right there.
yeah, but him being the great leader he was, it's three houses versus one. I will lose. I can't win this battle. So y'all sit down. He's not insulting me. Like playing along with the game, knowing
Right,
that yeah, we in a bad situation. You just messed up, bro. So he offered to basically because he spoke out of turn to like end his bloodline. I said, what? You going because you spoke out of turn? They no jail, they no dungeon you can go in for a little bit. Think about your
bro.
thoughts.
I
You gonna
thought
just
like I ain't even really catch it at first,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Yo, he just offered to kill himself." But
And
then later on in that episode, I was like, "Oh, oh, oh, so you already
so
got a kid,
so yeah, so before we get to that point right there, keep that same feeling. So we see them with the saying that they have to return the heir's mother within 7 days or whatever it was. And if you pretty much once she's returned, we will then have another meeting to discuss your punishment. So there's an older guy who comes into the picture when they're down there below and they're doing the pigeon message and everything else. And he's saying, hey, we need to leave here. You know they're going to vote to kill all of us
right,
as soon as they get her back. He's like, I understand that, but I can't start a war right now. I can't do that. And then we find out that the older man's granddaughter is the wife of the soldier who spoke out of turn. He's like, he offered to kill his bloodline. They all have to die. But I want to make sure she stays alive because of his compadre, his friend. That's crazy. Knowing that, yeah, his grandchild is now going to be done because he
right,
spoke out of line.
bro."
You just messed yourself up. You messing a lot of other people up.
That's extreme,
So we see that happen, and then we go back over to the Japanese, and then we see the ship. It's crazy, like they,
bro.
they
It's
really
it's
thought that.
hard to say that, bro.
It is hard to say
Japanese,
that, but it's also like so real that they both consider both factions savages. We see
right,
over here when it's the Japanese culture, the respect, the uniform, the dialect, the little bit of Game of Thrones is a little bit happening with the whole territories and power. Then we go back to the ship, and typically Englishmen think they can talk their way out of everything. It doesn't really work out.
right. So they basically just threw these cats, whoever survived, in a little hole,
Yes,
and was like, "Yo, we'll deal with you when the time comes."
yes,
But then you see it was like a little village. A little young guy was kind of like he about to get his due,
right.
and like, "Yo, your uncle coming. He never come here, but
He said
since he got word we got this ship, he coming."
he didn't
You
come when his
see this
pops
guy
died,
rolling the
bro.
town. And it's like I thought they was actually talking about the old guy that was just in,
Me too. Me too.
but it was
They show
somebody different,
it shows the distance of how the travel and everything else.
right? So this dude is off his rocker, bro.
Who you telling?
This dude is off his rocker. So they bring the one guy up, the head guy.
Mm-hmm.
They like, yo, um, basically trying to talk to him. Nobody understand nobody. He's like, yo, I'm gonna talk to him, tell him we just traders and we got lost.
Because you saw the
And
Christian symbol of the Christianity, and they saw that Portuguese is the language they thought it was, and they try to come over and interpret back and forth conversations.
right.
And do you see how that went?
So the the uncle comes like, yo, like bring him up here so we can talk.
Bro, before we even get to that point, I'm sorry, we gotta say this. My dude urinated on him, bro.
Oh, well, that was
He,
like the only universal understanding that they had
yes,
because for some reason
European.
the Englishman was like, "Yo," like he got upset that they didn't understand him, and then he started getting ignorant, like he wasn't surrounded by five swords
Yes. And then
on his knees,
the
and he
universal
told
hand on
them
crotch.
that he would pee on them. So the
And
Japanese man or the Japanese was like, "Oh, I understand that. Watch this."
bro, I'm like, this is a TV show? Like it didn't show nothing, but it like you knew what happened. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
oh,
you just seen the stream on the back of his head.
like humble yourself real quickly. Like you
Right.
are. This is
Like,
not your
bro,
land.
like you have no kind of weapon.
No.
You famished, and you up here trying to talk noise to five swords.
And then after the business was done to him, he starts walking, and we see other people from the village. One particular guy walk up like, "Oh, is he Christianity? Like, he's Christian?" And pretty much because he got in the way, he was beheaded. Because
Bro,
he,
they told him to get back though.
I know, but he didn't listen.
Right.
It's like you get one
That's his
warning.
fault.
It was, but it's like we went from that scene to first of all, they threw waste down there in the actual hole. Then we see him talk crazy. They showed you crazy. Then we walk in. Oh, you don't want to listen? This is why you should listen. And then we get to that crazy uncle. This is what happened in the walk path to get
Right.
there.
And then once he get up there to have that little one-on-one conversation almost with the uncle, you see the other religion guy come up, and he was talking, and they realized they was opposite religions. So then they start talking noise again to the point where the dude was like, "Yo, he's evil. He's come to kill you. Like, get him out of here."
Yes,
Like,
yes.
it just shows you the dynamic already between the two religions, and was like, "Yo, I don't want you treading in my lane. Like, we
At
came here first.
all.
Go somewhere else."
And it was crazy because like the uncle sit up there like, why does he hate you?
Right. Like,
And
he
why
understood that because he's seen the body language.
he's like, that's supposed to be like y'all from the same like
Right.
area. Y'all supposed to get along, right? Because over here we don't really do that, right? It was just weird seeing the whole vibe. And then you
Right.
see him as like, you gotta kill him, you gotta kill him. And he's like, you know what? Bring him back to the house.
Clean him up.
Yeah, and you seen that even the one nephew was looking at him like, what do you mean clean him up?
He was like, "Nah, somebody gotta die."
Yeah, he was like, all right, well, pick someone else, not him. So a random soul from the pirate crew that had nothing to do with what happened, and the choice that they chose to take care of this man,
Bro,
I could never guess that in a million years.
bro. I seen the pot. I was like, "Yo, the water can't be that hot. Like, it had to be fresh." That's what I'm thinking when I first seen it. I'm like, "Yo, it had to be fresh. They gonna wash this dude up."
Yes,
Nah, that joint was boiling hot, and they
and
put my man in the boiling hot water until he died.
you saw the uncle and him just listening,
Right.
just
The
sitting there,
uncle
just
was listening in enjoyment as it was like a test trial, and the rest of the town is like agonized by the screams and stuff.
this man that had nothing to do with the conversation,
The
nothing to
uncle is
do.
just chilling, eating, sipping tea,
Yes,
listening. And then after, I think the guy in the pot ended up just smashing his own head in.
yeah,
And afterwards, the uncle was like, he died. It was a boring death. Like, nothing spectacular.
like too quickly, like it happened too soon. Like I wanted to last longer.
Like,
What?
he could have went out a better way. Like, what do you mean?
So this
His
thing about
face was boiled to one skin piece.
folks, just think about what we just said. We just got to be talking about bathroom on somebody, beheaded somebody, boiling water cooked while you're still alive, and the person laughing about it like, "Heh, I
It
expected
was
more."
like, "Yo, make me a song about it." I was like, "What?"
What are we dealing with, bro? Like, what are we freaking dealing with? And then we see that's going on, and then Blackthorn, you see, he looked totally different when he got cleaned up. Cleaned
Right.
up, looked totally different. Um, the cultural way of the sliding doors and how he just pushed through the actual door to see all that happening. And then as the story progressed, we also flashback to my man who spoke out of turn. And the girl's name is Marlico or Markio, I think her name is. Markio, I'm gonna butcher her names for a while, but she's the long haired lady that came in there when the ceremony was about to happen of the bloodline ending, and how the mom was like, "Yo, just because you spoke out turn should not mean that I have to live by myself now." As in almost like saying she went off herself, but she is the granddaughter, so they can't let that happen.
Right.
So you see her with her word of wisdom in that situation, tried to realize like, hey, she will be the last hands on the son, and they really went through with it, bro. Like it was no backtracking or nothing. Like they really like
Yeah.
ended
They
the
the
bloodline.
last scene they was about to go with they was about to go through it.
That's that's
But
terrible, bro.
the fact, okay, yeah, because that was wild. So I
Terrible.
would just keep going right over that.
Yeah, just
That was wild.
terrible. And this is
But
all happening on the first episode, ladies and gentlemen. Like we just everything we just mentioned to show you how crazy this story is, and then it gets even more intense.
right. So the old guy finally gets to the little town,
Mm-hmm.
and they're about to take my man's ship, and he's still talking noise. And then this, I think he said he was French,
Englishman is what I think he is. I think he's an Englishman, and
but
then
he's
this
from a different part.
yeah, I think the other guy's French, but
So
yeah,
he comes through and basically saves him again.
yeah,
And he was like, "Yo, you basically everything there is theirs now.
yeah. Just be quiet. Just realize you don't have nothing.
Like, just shut up and get on this boat and say goodbye to your people because they keeping them, and now you're with us."
Pretty
So,
much.
and you seen it because the uncle was trying to keep all the weapons and stuff, and the
Yep.
old guy was like, "Yeah, you know that's ours, right?"
And then
Basically,
just
just punked them.
and there's nothing you can do because the Englishman was so used to doing everything. Like Blackthorn was always in control. So seeing him not in control, and then seeing how the different culture is over here, it it put him in a space where he didn't know what to do. So
Right.
also the uncle being the uncle and realizing that he has his ways. It's almost like he wants to be the man. He wants to
Yeah.
be the guy we saw from the original that's trying to take over and
Yeah.
was it for the meeting. But he has his wicked ways of doing things. So we flash forward a little bit and we go to where one of the scouts end up in the water at the bottom of the rocks. So they hear about it, so they go and try to use rope to basically go down there and get this gentleman. And you see almost like the pissing match, no matter no pun
Yeah.
intended, but
And
between each other.
it was crazy though because Blackthorn saved him on the ship
Yes,
because he was like, "Yo, like we gotta get through the storm. You gotta do this to get through." So they
yes.
get back to land, and the old guy's like, "Yo, like I'm about to kill you, bro." I can't even remember why, but he was like, "Yo, I'm about to kill you."
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy was like, "Nah, don't kill him. He helped us out." You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And now he realized, like, he was like, "Oh, I want to go get this guy." He like, "Nah, like we got to keep going."
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't listening, so he was going slicing.
Yes.
But he was like, "Nah, let me go with him, find this guy."
Mm-hmm.
Blackthorn was like, "Yo," he knew he wasn't going to like back down from a challenge, so he was like, "Yo," basically he was like, "I bet you won't go down there and get the guy."
In front of his other men. So he
Right,
was like, yo, you trying to challenge my authority? All right, bet. Game
right,
on.
and he knew it. He knew it because he told his boy, he was like, "Nah, I got it because
Yeah,
he not going to punk me," basically. So he goes down there, and did you think he was going to get him right away,
I
or
did.
did you think he was going?
I thought he was gonna get him right away. I did. I really thought it was gonna
Right.
like,
You like, yo, he a samurai. He probably
yeah,
got some skill. My man slip on a rock, almost break his back,
yes,
but he gets up and continues to try to get this other Englishman
yes,
and almost drown.
bro. And like in the midst of the drowning, right? And you see what's going on. You see the rope base is broken, so they had to go and get more rope. So at this point in time, you have him down there. You have the other gentleman on the rocks, basically unconscious, can't do anything. And then you have Blackthorn up top looking down at him. So it almost was like just that moment of them. And I would have never thought in 1,000 days. My man was when he pulled out his sword. I thought he was like going to like pierce between the rock or something to try
Right.
to like. get himself up. My man tried to, because he
bro.
felt like disrespected or lack of honor, and that you're not gonna show me, I'm gonna
He
kill myself.
he basically, to me, it was like he was like, "Yo, I'm not going out like no punk, and I'm not gonna drown and let this guy have a satisfaction.
Yes,
So instead, I'm gonna compose myself enough to take my own life before this ocean do." Bro, that's gangster.
and at the same time as we see them run up there with the rope, and then you see that moment of Blackthorn them looking at her like, this dude's a real deal. Like
Yeah, like, all
he's
right,
not like everybody
respect,
else. Yeah,
respect.
like he really like who would have thought that I'm gonna like go out this way? You're not gonna just shame on my pride and my like it's not happening. In my head is you still gonna die. It don't matter. But it
Right,
also brings the culture and everything how it's so meaningful. And then it's the first time you seen Blackthorn where his eyes like from the first scene when we seen Blackthorn to there, that was the moment where he changes.
right.
Everything about him's like, yo, all
Because
right,
at first you seen it. At first, when the guy started going down, he was like hype about it. Like, yeah,
he was.
he about to mess himself up. And
Yes.
then when he seen him take out his sword, he was like, "Yo, what is he doing?"
I simply just I was amazed and all. I was like, yo, I texted you, I was like, yo, I texted you or called you. I was like, yo, my man really try to do that? Like,
Right,
because it's this is a TV show, FX, Hulu. Like
right.
this is all happening right
My man
now.
was about to off himself, bro. He was
So
like, "Nah,
for
I ain't getting taken out by no ocean, bro."
and just it just told you that this is episode one. Right now, I know there's like probably 3 or 4 out. So we're gonna keep doing it weekly, ladies and gentlemen. But this show
It's a lot.
came out with some heat. It
It's
came
a
out with
lot.
some heat. I know the some people said that reading the at the bottom was annoying.
Subtitles, yeah,
I get it. I get it. But if you actually read it, you'll appreciate the story and how great it is. And like this was episode one, and then we
yeah.
see so much happen. I can't wait to watch episode two. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be fun. But
So is better One
if
Piece?
y'all haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. Let us know what you think, and then join this journey with us.
So you want to watch this or One Piece next week?
What, bro? I'll read the whole episode in subtitles before I go back to One Piece right now. Stop playing. I'll read the whole show in subtitles and Japanese subtitles before I watch One Piece right now.
That's so
I'll
bad.
watch the whole show without subtitles in Japanese before I watch One Piece right now.
Well, I will tell you fans also this: if you go on the Hulu feature and you go where it's especially the tablet form on the settings, there's the English version. There's also the subtitle version, but there's also a another version where there's an English person speaking over the actual subtitles and is explaining what's happening.
Oh,
So you can put that too. It takes away from the voice actors because you just hear that man's voice more than the actual actors, but it explains more as if you were unable to see, you're blind, and you're actually trying to listen to see every detail what's happening. That might help you in the show. So try that next time if you want to watch it. And I am just, oh, this show's heat. This show is so much heat. I can't wait. It's so much happening in so short period of time. I just want to know what's going to happen next. I can't wait. We drop this on Sundays, right?
yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So please like, subscribe. It was paused a little longer than we normally do, but so much happened that we had to spend some more time on it. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. What side are you on right now? What do you want to see that happens? Or if you want Tyro to watch One Piece again, just comment that too. I appreciate you guys.
You comment that we fighting gift wars.
Until next time, folks. Peace
Peace.
and love.